What I think is the most likely scenario, what I think the market makers are planning to do here, guys, is actually create a false breakout. And it would actually end up being a false breakout where the market makers take their profits on that final massive volume spike where they just churn that price up, take short positions, sell their positions, do whatever it is they want to do before the price actually ends up falling. Well, clearly you made this video just to brag about being right about Bitcoin's price. Well, yeah, pretty much. A lot of people are messaging me today, really angry on social media, saying, Kevin, you couldn't have predicted this. This is impossible for you to predict. You couldn't have predicted the Tether FUD and all this stuff. And yes, that's true. I could not have predicted that. I had no idea that was going to happen. But what I did know, guys, was that if the price was going to fall significantly, market makers needed a strategy, needed a plan to get out of the market before lower prices start happening. And the way that it seems that the way that they did that was using Tether, creating a bunch of FUD and manipulating the market that way, right? I've heard so many YouTubers, crypto YouTubers, talking about how they think that major whales were exiting Tether, because of FUD or whatever. And yeah, maybe that's true to a certain extent, but it doesn't make sense, guys. Within an hour, like the price goes up over $1,000. You think that all of the Tether whales exited their Tether positions, right then and there? I don't think so. I don't necessarily think so, guys. I mean, I really do think the more likely scenario here is that it was manipulated. It was created. It was manufactured to happen. The market makers wanted this to happen so that they could knock the price up, exit their positions before we see lower prices, right? That's what I think, guys. I don't think that all of a sudden there was just all of a sudden a bunch of FUD about Tether and every major Tether whale just exited Tether immediately. It just doesn't make sense to me, guys. It makes so much more sense if you realize that, this market is always being manipulated. So most likely this was intentional, strategized. This was a deliberate manipulation of the market, purposely dropping Tether so that people would exit Tether, right? Making that happen. It wasn't some natural FUD where everyone just started to get scared of Tether. People have been using Tether for a while now. I don't think all of a sudden within 1 hour, they're all just going to dump their Tether and knock the price down, guys. It was obviously manipulation. So now that we got that out of the way, let's go ahead and move into the charts here. So we're going to, up at the top here, we have the top 24-hour volume coins. Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Ripple right now are the top volume coins, obviously. So let's go ahead and hop over to the charts themselves. Check out Bitcoin here on Bitfinex, guys. I always use Bitfinex. Look at that, guys. Insane false breakout. I mean, just crazy manipulation taking place. Shorts getting liquidated. All kinds of stuff happening here, guys. The level of manipulation in the crypto market is unbelievable. Anybody who thinks that this recent Tether FUD was just some natural, FUD, I think you're completely insane to not actually consider that maybe the whole thing was orchestrated to manipulate the price of Bitcoin. Now, of course, right now we can't 100% confirm that it's a false breakout, because right now, obviously, we still have created some value here. The price went up from 6,400 to where it's at now, 6,700. So 6,400 to 6,700. If you've been watching my channel, I'm looking for lower prices. I'm expecting lower prices, and I have been since January. I don't think that this pump is necessarily going to continue. I don't think we're actually going to be breaking above resistance and holding above resistance. I think this was a one and done false breakout. Most likely the price will continue to trade into this triangle here until we start breaking lower and the downward pressure really starts to kick in. So that's going to be it for me today. I just wanted to come to you with why this whole situation with the Tether FUD, why it was most likely completely orchestrated. I mean, I think the market makers actually executed their plan perfectly, got the false breakout to happen, got rid of some of their positions. Maybe they even took some short positions, locked in some quick profits on that swing down. And yeah, guys, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens going into the future now. Overall, still completely bearish on Bitcoin. I don't expect to see any major resistance breaks for a significantly long period of time. I think mid 2019 to end of 2019, mid 2019 to end of 2019, I think is the period now that I'm looking at to see a bottom start to form. So it might take us, almost another year, I think, until we start forming a true bottom. And guys, this is nothing new. If you've been involved with Bitcoin, then waiting these long periods of time is nothing new, okay? I'm not, people think I'm unreasonable for saying another year. If you're familiar with the Bitcoin market, then you know that this is how things go. Things take time, right? You don't just buy in and we moon every month, right? Things take time. You got to have patience, and you got to really understand what's going on in the market. Why should the price of Bitcoin be going up right now? What's the real reason? Guys, just because there might be an ETF or backed is going to make it easier for institutions and retail investors to access crypto. Just because it's easier to access crypto does not mean that people actually want to, okay? There's a difference between, things being easy to access and people wanting to access them, guys. The general population is currently not interested in Bitcoin, right? So just because backed is being created doesn't mean that institutions are going to FOMO into Bitcoin. That makes no sense, guys. It makes absolutely no sense. Institutions generally don't just FOMO into things like that, okay? Things take time. Anyway, guys, thank you all for watching. I appreciate you guys all tuning in. Once again, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell button. I will see you all in the next video or live stream or whatever it is I do. Peace out.